that you can actually understand about your lung condition, the more that you know how to treat it, the more that you understand about your medicines, about everything that's going on and how to manage it, then the less anxious you'll be about your breathing. Learning and understanding and taking control of your problem is the most effective thing that you can do.
The more information you have, the more power you have.
You're in control. It's not in control of you. I feel I can manage this disease. It's not getting the better of me. It's something that is part of my everyday life, and it's something I'm fully aware of, and it's something I'm not frightened of.
But by writing it down, that does...
The more you know about COPD, the more effectively you can look after or self-manage your condition.
Remember these things. There's a thing called a self-management plan, which everybody with a long-term condition...
Everybody's different, so it's important that you learn how you're affected by COPD and what you can do about it.
Breathing exercises.
Self-management is the aim for everybody with a long-term condition, whether it's diabetes or heart failure or COPD. And self-management means that the patient is at the centre of the management. So you know when you're not quite so well, you recognise that symptoms are beginning to increase and you know what to do about it.
They encourage people to self-manage, manage your own illness. Now initially that's quite a difficult concept to get your head around when you're ill, managing your own illness, because you think, well, that's a doctor's job, you know, that's what the doctor does, he manages my illness. But gradually you begin to realise that no, there's a lot you can do to manage your own illness, and eventually you're using your doctor more as a sounding board.
The main reason why COPD gets worse is smoking. It worsens every aspect of your condition and leads to further irreparable damage to your lungs. The only effective way you can combat this is to quit smoking as soon as possible.
If you're diagnosed with COPD and you continue to smoke, your lung function is going to get worse more quickly.
If I continued to smoke once I was diagnosed with COPD, it would undoubtedly accelerate the degeneration of my condition. No question about that. I would have got worse.
Regardless of how bad your lungs are, whatever stage your lungs are in, if you stop smoking, you'll find that you'll be less breathless, you'll find that your muscles will be a bit stronger, your bones will be healthier, your heart will absolutely love it, and basically you'll just be able to look after your lungs a lot better if you're not smoking.
I got up one morning with a bad cold and decided I'd try not to have a cigarette for the day. And I got to the end of the day and I got through that first day. And from day one, I put a £5 in a pot. And every solitary day that I managed to go without cigarettes, I put £5 in the pot. At the end of a month, I had £150, and that was 8 years ago. All the money I've saved from cigarettes goes into my bank account, and I spend almost all of it on holidays. But as far as I'm concerned, it's free. It's all free money. So I don't pay for my holidays. My cigarette money pays for my holidays.
Your GP or your practice nurse will have a smoking cessation support clinic. So that might be on a one-to-one basis, it might be in a group basis, it depends on what you want. Some people think, oh, I'm going to go cold turkey, and that's fine if you can do that, but you're much more likely to succeed if you get help. So your GP, your practice nurse is your first port of call.
Giving up smoking is the best thing you can do to help your lungs. It's not easy, but with some help and encouragement, it is achievable. You're 5 times more likely to succeed if you use some support when you give up. The NHS runs a variety of different programmes to help you, so see which one suits you best. Go to www.smokefree.nhs.uk for more information. Breathlessness is the most common symptom that people with COPD feel, but there are a number of other things that may affect you. Learning what these are and how to deal with them will significantly improve your quality of life and help avoid discomfort and stress. One thing that affects everyone with COPD is the weather.
There's lots of different things with the weather. You've got the wind.
If it's windy, I don't go out because I can't breathe.
You've got the cold.
If it's too cold, I can't do a lot.
You've got the heat.
The hot weather, but also humid, you know, that stormy, heavy stuff.
And you've got the rain.
Damp weather's the worst.
The best time I find is probably a couple of days in spring and a couple of days in October, and it's really lovely weather and I feel really good.
It's different for everybody, and patients will say to me sometimes, oh, you know, I'm really bad when I go outside in the cold, and the cold makes me really wheezy and really tight. Other patients will say actually they really like the cold, and that when they're going out, you know, the cold actually makes them feel better, and it's the heat they can't stand. So how you respond to the weather and the heat and the temperature is very individual.
First thing I do is check the weather forecast to see what the weather's going to be like later on. And once I know whether it's going to be wet or dry, hot or cold, and what time of the day it's going to do those things, then I can plan what I'm going to do on those times.
The weather can have a big effect on how you feel when you have COPD. The key to managing it is how you react to changes in the weather. Check the forecast regularly and plan your activities to minimise exposure to weather that affects you. You may find that using a handheld fan in hot weather helps your breathlessness. Avoid extremes of hot and cold if they make you feel unwell. Talk to your doctor about getting a flu jab early before the winter sets in, and keep away from crowded places and people with viruses and colds. Stay warm and make sure you dress appropriately. A good diet is also very important. What you eat and drink can make a big difference to how you feel.
Nutrition in COPD is vital. It's as important as exercise, as it's important as taking your medicines every day.
What should we go for the little one? Which one do you want?
It's important for everybody's health, but particularly if you've got a lung condition, because everything's a strain anyway. Healthy food, fruit, vegetables, etc.
We tend to eat small portions regularly rather than, you know, the one main meal a day sort of thing. And that helps tremendously. Eating regularly, eating small portions and eating healthily.
The easiest thing to do with this is not eat, because if you're not feeling well, you don't feel like eating. But that's actually the worst thing to do, because if you're not eating regular healthy meals, then you've got no energy.
The temptation is to use ready meals or meals that are easy to make by just adding water, rehydrate them, but they're not particularly nutritionally balanced. They're okay once in a while, or if you're feeling particularly unwell on one day and you just need something hot, that's fine. But having a good regime over the weeks and months of balanced diet is vital, because what you put in is the fuel for your body. And if you put rubbish in, you won't be able to do very much.
Right, well, I've got my freezer here, and these are my freeze-away foods, as I call them. When I cook, I make extra, so that when I'm busy or not very well, I can get them out. These are cottage pies, and I'll get these out for our meal today, because they look quite nice. It's a meal that is quick, but I know what's in it. I know that I've cooked it and it's healthy.
People generally do not drink enough fluids. You need to drink a mixture of fluids through the day. So tea and coffee is fine, but juice and water is equally important.
I drink 2 litres of water every day, and I never fail to do it. It thins the mucus in your lungs. So if you've got mucus in your lungs and it's difficult to move, water will thin it and make it easier to get rid of.
Thinking about what you eat and drink when you have a lung condition is important. A good, balanced diet with lots of fresh fruit and vegetables is ideal, and small, high-protein meals eaten at regular intervals can help you to feel more comfortable and shouldn't affect your breathing. If possible, plan ahead for quick but nutritious cooking options for when you feel unwell. Finally, keep yourself hydrated with lots of fluids. Tea and coffee are okay, but also water and juice. Drinking more will help with mucus and clearing it from your chest. Some people with COPD experience other symptoms which can be alarming. Occasionally people will feel discomfort in their chests.
You can get pain with COPD, and that's a muscle pain, and it very often starts from the middle of your back and comes round in sort of like a sling around the bottom of your rib cage. and what we call musculoskeletal pain. And lots of patients take paracetamol regularly for that.
If you've got a particularly bad day where you're having coughing a lot and that, it can cause you a lot of discomfort. And a couple of painkillers just helps relieve it.
Obviously, coughing can affect the whole of your body, and one of the main side effects of having a cough, and sometimes the thing that will actually make people go to seek help in the first place, is you can get some stress incontinence with cough because you put pressure all the way down through your body.
You start a coughing bout and you have to sit down and cross your legs, because otherwise you can have an accident or two.
And if you have got stress incontinence and it's a problem to you, then please tell your nurse or your doctor, because the main thing that people don't is they're embarrassed, and we want to help, but we've got to know that it's a problem. So tell us.
It is possible to experience muscular chest pain with COPD. This is not a cause for alarm and can usually be treated with painkillers. There's also the possibility of some stress incontinence caused by coughing. If you're experiencing these problems, speak to your nurse or GP or call our helpline. And remember, if you want help with quitting smoking, the NHS has lots of support available. Go to www.smokefree.nhs.uk or call Smoke Free on 0800 022 4332. COPD affects your life in many different ways. Learning what those effects are and how best to manage them will make a big difference to your overall quality of life. Creating an effective self-management plan is a great step to controlling your disease and will allow you to live well with COPD.
The most important thing in this whole disease is knowing your body. Nobody in this world knows your body as well as you do, so you have to let it talk to you. And if you let it talk to you, it will tell you what it wants and what it doesn't want, what to do, what not to do. You have to know your body and you have to listen to it.